Hi, good people. So it's still season 2 of another exciting episode in the making of Because I Want to Be,
I Will Become.
Brought to you by the Rebecca Foundation, the Merck Foundation, and the Ghana Education Service. Well, today, folks, we are looking at a subject. Now, today's subject is boy-girl relationship. I can see how excited you are hearing about that. But hey, it's not all rosy. There are things that we all need to learn. And as usual, I do not do this alone. I'm here with this magnificent four. From my left, we have
Susie Williams from Kanisha Odeme 1 GHS.
Susie, welcome. Then
Lisa Pomey from St. Joseph's Anglican Basic School.
Lisa, welcome. And then to my right,
Vanessa Debra from the King's Favor School.
Vanessa. And then
And I'm Emmanuel Odin from Kanisha Odeme 3.
Emanuela. Thank you, ladies, for coming. And I hope that we'll do justice to this subject, which is so important, especially because we're in school, right? And so, folks, get your writing pads, your notebooks, your phones. I'm ready to take down notes. We never know it all, the things that we all are learning. But we'll be right back as we delve into boy-girl relationship. Stay tuned.
You are watching the ever-amazing Top Tips for Teens. Today, we are looking at how to deal with unwanted sexual advances. Hey teenagers of the world, I am the awesome Manaya, and you are watching the ever-amazing Top Tips for Teens, your go-to source that helps us engage with our fellow humans way easier. Sexual advances is defined as any word or action, including touch, that is directed towards you that makes you feel uncomfortable and is uninvited. This includes gestures and stares. Teenagerhood is a time that we explore and experiment with our sexual interests. As we develop physically, we gain the attention of others, adults and peers alike. Either way, we want to be in charge of our own experiences and not be unwilling participants in someone else's aroused intentions. If someone is making sexual advances on us, we need to have and give full consent. So here are the tips to ensure we can respond to unwanted sexual advances from strangers, acquaintances, creepy characters, family friends, and intimate partners alike. Tip number 1. Announce your dissent. Let the person know that you are not comfortable and alert other nearby persons if necessary. Speak up. Refuse to hide or pretend it didn't happen or isn't happening. Inform a trusted friend, family member, or appropriate professional about it for additional support if you're unable to confront the situation on your own. Remember to be courageous. Don't be afraid to say no and say it loudly if you have to. This is the time you have to bring out your inner warrior and stand up for yourself. Tip number 2. Communicate clearly. Be clear and direct that the advance is unwanted. Be assertive, respect yourself, and insist that others do the same. Be straightforward. Say clearly, I'm not interested. Be consistent, both in your words and actions. Keep it short and stern. Tip number 3. Distance yourself from the perpetrator. Remove yourself from the situation. Some persistent folks don't understand subtle hints. In some cases, it may mean putting physical distance between you and the person. Walk away. Call or message a friend or trusted adult that can swoop you out of the situation. We all have a warrior friend, rebel auntie, or reliable uncle that will get us out of a situation in a nanosecond. The main thing is to get out of the situation. Your safety is paramount. Their possible feelings of rejection is not the priority. Tip number 4. Tell someone. Find a good friend to confide in. They are brilliant to help support you in the ways that you need. Tell a trusted adult. You need an advocate to help you work through this in a way a young friend cannot do. Find the person in your life who can support you in the ways you need. Report it to the police if your safety has been violated. Even if the person threatened to violate you, that is enough to make a report. It's important for the police to have a record of these occurrences, as it may help you or someone else in the future. This is where trusted adult support can come in. Bonus tip: practice these tips. Seriously. Role play with a friend, parent, or the adults in your family to ensure that you'll be ready if this ever happens to you. We hope this helps to give you some power and preparation for what may be considered a really messy situation. Forewarned is forearmed. This is your girl Anaya, and look out for other awesome teen life hacks on Top Tips for Teens. Be safe, fellow teens.
Welcome back, still season 2. It's Because I Want to Be.
I will become.
Great, brought to you by the Merck Foundation, the Merck Foundation, and the Ghana Education Service. So, just before we delve into this subject, what's trending these days? Who can share? Susie?
Okay, so what's trending? Contemplation of government on whether or not to pass the LGBTQ law.
Aha, that's a big one, eh? Yeah, but we don't concern ourselves with that now. Let's leave it to the adults. They'll deal with it, okay? But it's trending, is it not? Yeah, it is. Vanessa, I'm curious, do you have a social media handle?
Yes, please.
Hey, okay. So, what do you normally post on your social media handle?
I post dance moves.
Dance moves. So I'll come for some practice. Hey, okay, all right, cool. That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we need to use our platforms in sort of letting the world know of our abilities and what we can do, and so keep it up. All right. Okay, people. So let's get rolling, ladies. When we say boy-girl relationships, what is your take? What are the things that you've experienced when it comes to boy-girl relationship? It could be personal, it could be your friend's story or something you've heard, but let's throw more light on boy-girl relationships. Who wants to go first? Susie? Go ahead.
Okay, so boy-girl relationship is a mutual feeling or relationship that develops as we individuals hits the stage of puberty or adolescence. And we've heard of cases where seniors in their final year, instead of them to focus on their studies, maybe when they're on vacation, they go out with the opposite sex to maybe beaches, hotels, all in the name of having fun. And they end up indulging in activities which is not required for students their age, and they end up flopping in their studies.
Right, we're getting practical here, saying it as it is. These things happen, and so, yeah, she's made a good point there. But you mentioned something there, puberty, which is so the significant stage as far as boy-girl relationship are concerned. And Emanuela, what would you say puberty is, just for those of us who are not too
Puberty is the gradual transition from childhood to adulthood, usually between the ages of 10 and 19 years.
Super awesome, thank you for that. So basically, this is the period where young adults, adolescents becoming young adults, and we are conscious about ourselves. We're conscious about the opposite sex as well. But this is the stage where hormones kick in. What's your take on hormones?
Hormones are chemical substances secreted directly into the blood from the brain through the glands.
Awesome, I couldn't have said that even better. To add to it, they're also responsible in influencing our moods and our actions. Will I be right?
Yeah.
Awesome, super. So, Susie, let me ask you, what are the downsides? What are the disadvantages? I mean, somebody will say that, well, boy-girl relationship, we're in school, this is the time where we need to learn how to, live together and before we get to the adulthood. And so it's like a foundation stage, a test case. But what are some of the disadvantages?
Okay, so boy-girl relationship has a lot of disadvantages, and some of them are the female can get pregnant, and then she wouldn't want to be a burden or cause disgrace to her family and to herself. So she would go for the alternative that she has to abort the child, which will lead to death. So it can
possible death. It's possible that somebody can die out of this. Wow. Because I want to be,
I will become.
well, people, well, you just took off, man, and I hope that you're still catching up with us, and you're right here. Now, as I mentioned earlier on, we're having a resource person, and so we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to introduce our resource person, who is also going to add her voice and her experience to this so that we all learn together, right? Okay, see you right after this break.
At the Rebecca Foundation, we focus on the well-being of Ghanaians, especially women and children. The Rebecca Foundation, an opportunity to make a difference.
It's always good to have you stick around. We're still on Because I Want to Be,
I will become.
There you go. People, as I mentioned earlier on, we do have a resource person, and she's going to help throw more light into the subject area, boy-girl relationship. Remember, this program is brought to you by the Rebecca Foundation, the Merck Foundation, and of course, the Ghana Education Service. Now to our resource person. Now, she is no other than Faustina Ama Edubiaboabeng from the Kaneshi Presby School. Now, her 9 years of teaching experience throws her in the heart of the matter. She's seen all the boy-girl relationship. They come and go with all their troubles, with all their, what they leave behind. And so we're going to talk to Ama Edubia. First of all, Ama, it's a privilege to have you here. Join us to talk on this subject, and I want to say thank you for joining us. So, Ama Edubia, would want to know, given your experience over the period, and what would you say about boy-girl relationships?
Thank you very much, Ajiti. When you talk of boy-girl relationship, let's start from relationship. When you talk of relationship, what does it mean? It has to do with the state of being connected. And when it comes to boy-girl relationship, we are talking of the expression of adolescent deep and strong desire towards the opposite. It usually starts when a girl or a boy meets the opposite and wants to have that interaction or attraction or the feel of likeness. So when we talk of boy-girl relationship, it's all about that connection.
Great, thank you so much for that. Ladies, questions for her immediately? Susie, you want to?
Please, so in your years of experience, what is the method that you have adopted to curb the boy-girl relationship problem we have in schools?
Thank you very much, Susie. The number one method or remedy is education. As an educator or a facilitator of the language, I normally dedicate one time or an hour of my period to educate the girl child on the negative aspects of boy-girl relationship.
Awesome. Thank you very much there. Any more questions?
So
Lisa?
when you were younger, did you engage in such activities and how did you cope with them?
Thank you, my dear. Yes. As a growing child in those days, our parents normally talk to us using their eyes. And we, on the other hand, were learning through social media. Now social media has turned into a different thing. Our social media then times was Ghana Television, GTV or GBC, yes. They will show us this educative program which my dear brother here played a role. It is Things We Do for Love. They educated us on the negative of boy-girlfriend relationship. And he was pusher then. He had friends, both bad and negative, but we were able to learn the positive from it.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Please, I would like to ask that since girl-child relationship causes such a huge burden on the society, will it be more advisable for us to adopt a single-sex schooling than the mixed schooling?
Interesting.
Thank you for your question. No, no, no. I would rather preach on mixed schooling. Now, being in a single-sex school will make the girl child or the boy child very timid. In as much as we are looking at the negative aspects of girl-boy relationship, there is also the positive side. Now, after schooling, what's next? That is your job prospects. So after schooling, when you find yourself in a firm where the opposite is your boss, how are you going to communicate? In as much as we are looking at the negative effect of boy-girl relationship, there is also the positive side of it. That is communication. How to communicate, how to entertain, and how to endure the opposite sex. I would prefer mixed school so that we learn from each other.
Okay, thank you. It's a learning ground for us to be able to interact, know each other well, etc., etc. Vanessa, what would be your take home from today's episode?
So when young female girls are being sent by male adults, they shouldn't enter their room because they take advantage of their innocence and have sexual intercourse with them. So I would advise that when they are being sent, they should just leave the thing there. They shouldn't enter their room.
This is grandma advice. Grandma advice, I'm telling you. Thank you very much for that, Vanessa. So people, our young girls, our sisters out there, please, this is Vanessa's message to you. Let's watch out for those members of society who want to take advantage of younger girls. Remember, this is tailored for young girls and young women, and so we need to be very, very sensitive to this. All too soon, our time is running out. Believe me that we should have a part 2 because there are a lot of things that we would want to touch on. And so we want to take this opportunity to say a big thank you to our resource person, Ama Adubia, and we hope that in due course we would call upon you again. Thank you so much for making it here. Well, people, don't go anywhere. We're moving into the young girls in activity, Look out for it. It's coming right after this break. Stay tuned.
The Rebecca Foundation, an opportunity to make a difference.
I'm Senior EMT Tahiru Zakaria from Ghana National Ambulance Service. with my colleague here, Millian and Benjamin. We are here to attend to you. Please, when you get to the scene, you make sure you are full in your PPE before you get into contact with your patient. Yes. In order not to give cross-infection to your patient, you make sure you are fully in your PPE before contacting your patient. So you get your patient, you make sure you have your stethoscope, your BP apparatus. What you do is you assess the patient. You check the patient BP, his sugar, his oxygen saturation. Before any other thing, you ask of past medical history. Are you diabetic? Do you have any sugar? If the patient is not diabetic, it's not hypertensive. If the patient is diabetic, it's hypertensive, the patient will tell you. If the patient is asthmatic, the patient will tell you. I've been having this for some time now. Are you on any medication? Yes or no, the patient will tell you. What type of medication? Patient tells you. You take the patient into your vehicle. You can now come forward to see what we do in the vehicle. After bringing in the patient, you have to strap the patient to prevent the patient from falling off and dangling on your stretcher. So you strap the patient to the trolley. You strap patient to trolley to prevent patient from dangling. Yes, now I'm done strapping patient. Next thing is to continue monitoring patient. So I'll take off my glove, which are already infected, put them in the bin. So this will go, I continue with the BP. My other colleague is also assisting with the temperature, that's the thermometer. Yes. So this is the pulse oximeter to check oxygen saturation. Yes. So take patient history, brief history. Please, what's your name? Lauren Shapia. How old are you?
15 years.
Oh, okay. Do you remember what happened?
Please, no.
Okay. You are in the ambulance. We are taking you to the hospital for emergency care. Yes. Please, have you had this experience before?
Please, no.
Is that your first time or it has happened to you before?
It's my first time.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is the patient first time. And then we will continue to monitor the patient vitals on the monitor. The BP, the temperature, the pulse, and then the oxygen saturation. With the help of the monitor, everything is easier. Not like checking whilst the vehicle is moving, you are checking with your manual, it's fake. You will not get that stability. You may not get accurate BP. But with the monitor, everything is easy for us to check. Our patient is stable. So every 15 minutes, we continue to check on our patient. How are you doing now? Are you okay?
Yes.
All right. You'll be well very soon. Okay? Yes, you'll be fine. Very soon we'll get to the hospital and the doctors will attend to you. Okay? Yes. So don't panic. You are in good hands and you'll be well soon. Okay. Very soon we'll be at the hospital. Okay. So my other colleagues is taking patient details. This is a brief history of the patient. This is the first time this patient had this encounter. Do you have asthma?
Please, no.
Do you have stomach ulcer?
Please, no.
Okay. Patient doesn't have any past medical history, and the patient is okay. Yes. So we will continue whilst we are still monitoring our patient till we get to the receiving facility where we will hand over to the nurses with the history of patient we have taken. Yes. Patient oxygen saturation is 99, meaning she's fine. She doesn't need to be on oxygen. And her pulse is also okay, 72 beats per minute, which is normal. The temperature is 36.2, which is also normal. The patient is doing well. She's stable and conscious. Yes. So basically, that is what we do when we pick cases, industrial or road traffic accident, that's RTAs. You continue to monitor your patient. If this is inter-hospital transfer, whereby patient is on infusion, and you have to use the infusion pump, you use the infusion pump to regulate the infusion. Yes, if that is needed. Okay, so in this case, students, if there's any question you want to ask, you may ask.
Sir, please, that thing on her finger, what does it do?
It's used to check the oxygen saturation, the amount of oxygen in you. If you need to be supported with the oxygen, or you are okay. Yes. Per this reading will now determine whether you need oxygen support or not. Yes. So the machine will tell you. Any other question?
Sir, please, during your demonstration, we saw that Auntie put something in her dress. Please, what does that thing do?
This is the thermometer, which is kept under her armpit. Yes. And you can see it reading here. Yes. That's the thermometer. Yes. If there's no question, then we call it a day. Ghana National Ambulance Service, we run all sort of emergencies from road traffic accident, domestic, industrial, maternal cases. If you have your program, birthday programs, you invite us, outdoor weddings, we cover up. We are here for the general public of Ghana. If you have any emergency at home, don't hesitate. Call 112. We will respond to you and we'll take care of you.
Because I want to be,
I will become.
So there you have it, our young girls in activity, here to empower us, and as you saw right there, very educative, and I hope that you can also put that into practice in your respective space as well. People, all too soon we've come to the end of another episode. We're looking forward to the next episode already, but don't forget, make sure that you keep the conversations going wherever you are on our social media handles displayed on the screen right now. Keep it coming, your stories, your experiences, your comments. You know, that's the only way we can grow together as a family and as a society and make Ghana greater and greater. People, it's been a pleasure being your host. Take care. God bless you. See you later.